The Tournament Predictor Tool is exactly what it sounds like. It's a tool that attempts to predict the results of a PGA Tour event. And the way that it does this is via simulation. And the simulation that I run it 1,000 times. And there are a variety of variables I could go into and probably spend 3 or 4 hours talking about. But let's just say it's looking at recent form and course history and course fit and the ability to actually win, which is different than the ability to just have a good week. And then basically it spits out the results for 1,000 different the event 1,000 times, and then I just compile it and aggregate it here. Now you're looking at the Tour Championship, so these numbers are obviously a bit higher since there was only 29 golfers in the field when I recorded this, but the premise is still the same. You are going to see the percentage of time that each golfer won the simulation. So in this scenario, Scottie Scheffler, who actually started at 10 under par, won the simulation 18% of the time. He finished inside the top 5 nearly half the time, 48%. Top 10 was obviously huge because it's only a 29-player field, 71%, and then top 20, obviously massive as well, in only a 29-player field. So this allows you to look at the results. And the way that I like to do this, the thing that the Tournament Predictor does a really good job of is understanding who can actually win. You know, there are a lot of guys on the PGA Tour who are going to outperform expectations. There's a lot of guys that are going to have really nice years. There's not going to be a lot of guys that actually win golf tournaments. Winning is very, very hard on the PGA Tour, and the Tournament Predictor does a very good job of being able to talk about that. So I use this to try to find things that stand out to me. So for example, you know, this is a really good example. Sung J M down here. Sung J M did not win the simulation very often, less than 1%. But where it did stand out was he was much better in top 5, much better in top 10, and much better in top 20 than a lot of his peers around here. And that's noteworthy. Now, and that actually ended up being the case, right? I mean, Sung J M, I think he finished in a tie for second. He was phenomenal. He was one of the best players of the week, but he didn't win. And that's kind of the idea around this simulator. Now, then once we have the simulation results, we can kind of compare those to the odds. Now, this you kind of have to decide whether you care about this or not. You know, for example, the way that this reads is Scottie Scheffler only wins the Tour Championship 18% of the time. You know, he's being priced at DraftKings at 2.3 to 1, BetMGM at 2.3 to 1, FanDuel 2 to 1. Like, that is not a good value bet, right? Because at let's say at 2 to 1, you know, that's implying he's going to win it 33% of the time. Well, he's not winning it anywhere near that amount. So that's in theory not a good bet. Now this is for people who are kind of taking this seriously and care to only be making valuable bets. There are people who are very much doing this recreationally and don't necessarily care about this part, and they just want to bet on the guy that is likely to win the tournament, even if it's not a good value. And I understand that. So I kind of, you know, you can, for me, when I look at this, like I rule out, you know, I can't bet Scottie Scheffler. He's winning it half the time, right, that he needs to be to find a value. Xander Schauffele, fairly priced at DraftKings, 0.96, which is almost even. But if you can get, you know, 6.5 to 1, which is what FanDuel was offering, he becomes a value. Or what Caesars was offering, he becomes a value. Patrick Cantlay, you probably can't bet across the board if you care about value. Rory McIlroy, fair to good value. Tony Finau, Sam Burns. So you can see where it kind of sticks out here. So this is a nice way to look at the industry and determine whether or not a bet is worth making if you care about the value. And then, of course, if you do not have access to one of these sites, I'm always updating this page with the free bets. It's you know, you sign up, you get like sometimes it's like $1,500 in free bets. I think New York was like 5,000, something outrageous. So you can click that, find out what state you're in, see if there's an offer for you, and take advantage of it. But this is a nice little tool again to just be able to understand the context of a golf tournament where only one golfer is actually going to win it.